Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains episode review. I am recording this currently at 3 in the morning, and I'm loving winter break. The subs just came out. Well, they didn't just came out, they actually came out earlier today. I mean, it's Friday morning, technically. The review will be out Friday midday. They came out Thursday on illegal sites, obviously. It's probably up on whatever site you usually use to watch anime. It's not going to be up on Crunchyroll for at least until Wednesday, for at least another 5 days. But thank you to the fan subbers, and I believe it was DMC who did the subs, and then thank you to whoever put the subs to the video and got this episode subbed for us. So that's awesome. Love this community, and I cannot wait to discuss episode 33, the beginning of the duel between Blue Angel and Spectre, with you all. And my goodness, what a duel it was, or what an episode it was. I mean, the duel's not over. And the Knights of Hanoi are very interesting. They're a very interesting group, right? Because 33 episodes in, and there's so many things about the Knights that we really don't know, right? We don't know if their main motivation is really for the benefit of the world, or if it's for what the main purpose is of the Knights of Hanoi. If they're tied to Soul Tech, why these operations on these kids, why the abductions of these kids and the torturing of these kids happened, 10 years ago or whenever they were. And even though, yes, that was when Soul Tech, but as we know, Kogami, who was involved in Soul Tech, is now a member of the Knights. And about Revolver's father, and about Revolver's character, even in general, because he's done and said things that are very, weird. And there's a great analysis by someone on Twitter, Maiden Days. I'll link her whole analysis on Revolver's character down below. But what I'm getting to is add Specter to this mix. Add Specter to this mix of Knights of Hanoi characters that we still just cannot really put a read on. He was everything I could have wanted in a villain in this episode. He is the exact villain that I like. When I think of villain, I think of Yami Marek, I think of Vector, I think of Bakura, I think of villains that are just crazy. Those are the kind of villains, Divine from 5Ds, those are the kind of villains that I love. I don't really enjoy as much the more calculated, motivated villains like Zone, which I know Zone is loved by a lot of people. Darts is another one that is loved by a lot of people, but I like antagonists that get involved, and that's exactly what Spectre is doing right here. And when you look at some antagonists like Zone and Darts, they kind of waited till the end to duel. Personally, again, as I'm sure a lot of you know, I like the villains that go out and duel. And while Spectre at the moment is probably not an endgame antagonist by any means, he is that creepy, eerie, unhinged character that when you watch him, you literally just get goosebumps because of the things he's saying. He's just a very uneasy character to watch, and I thought he was executed brilliantly in this episode. First of all, his dueling abilities were great. All the effect damage that he was getting, he was just replenishing his health. He was diminishing the effect damage that he was getting, and there was one point where Blue Angel is literally talking about how she's going to use reincarnation, and Spectre is going to draw 5 cards, and because of her monster's effects, basically, is going to deal a crazy amount of damage to him. But as we know in Yu-Gi-Oh!, when a character plans out the move in their head, it never works. So as she's talking about this move, I'm like, okay, well, it's clearly not going to work. And Spectre used, I believe it was a trap, to banish all of the reincarnations in her deck, on her field, whatever it may have been. And that's exactly what happened. So she lost all of her reincarnations. She was running 3 in her deck, and she lost them all in her big combo to defeat Spectre, or at least, I don't know if it would have been enough damage to defeat him, but really, really reduce his health, or really reduce his life points. Did not go through. But what I really want to talk about here is Spectre. That's probably what the main focus of this review is going to be. Overall, generally speaking, I loved the episode. These are 2 of my favorite characters, and I know we haven't seen much of Spectre, but Spectre, with this episode and with 32, has already really jumped up on my list. He's already probably my favorite villainous character that we have seen. Reminds me a little bit of Gnome, but obviously he's more of a threat than Gnome, because Gnome was kind of a creep too, but Gnome could end up being, in hindsight, a one-off character, because if we never see him duel again, and we never really see him have a role, which right now he's unconscious, and will the Knights be around, and will they still be legitimate whenever they're back after this whole thing ends? They might even be disbanded. Who really knows if we're going to see Gnome again, or Vyra and Faust? That seems, it definitely wasn't filler, because it did advance the plot, the main plot at least. It was kind of one-off duels, and that's why those are 3 Knight of Hanoi characters that did literally nothing, and that's why Spectre needed to live up to expectations, because you have Blue Angel, who has been it's just so tough, and I still don't know who I want to win this duel. I mean, I'm watching the preview for 34, and it looks like Spectre could have a change of heart, And I don't really want to see that either, to be honest. Not this early, at least. But Specter's backstory, I feel like, is going to be really, really messed up, because we had Playmaker's backstory that was extremely dark. I mean, tortured as a kid. We have Blue Angel, who lost her parents, and Aoi Zaizen, who literally in this episode, as Specter is reiterating her past to her, and that she's following the protagonist of this Blue Angel story where she's cut herself off from the real world, and she pretends to be strong and tough on the outside, but deep down, she's dying inside, which I think that's a euphemism for, honestly, a lot of people in society today. I feel like there are a lot of people, and it's very sad, but there are a lot of people who act like they're very okay on the outside and act like they're very strong, and then they'll go to their room after school, or they'll go to their room after hanging out with their friends, and they'll just break down because of life. I mean, life is very stressful. It can be very depressing and upsetting, and there are a lot of people who do suffer through that. So I think that this is honestly a euphemism, and, as an RA, what we look for the most in our job is obviously signs of depression, because suicide, I think, is the number 2 leading cause of death among college students, right behind car accidents. I mean, it is a real issue in the United States and pretty much in the world, I would say. And so I think this is something that hopefully can relate to other people, and I think will relate to other people, that you act fine on the outside, but deep down you're sad, you're alone, and you can go one or two ways. You can kind of sink into that loneliness. Well, I guess you can go a few ways. You can sink into that loneliness and sink into that depression. You can become very angry and spiteful and hate-filled, which I feel like the first one was kind of Blue Angel, pre-Blue Angel before Playmaker, or pre-Aoi before Playmaker. The other one is Specter, and then the third route is you're able to come out of that depression, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There always is, and I feel like that's Aoi Zaizen post-Playmaker. And the friends in the book, Specter said that she loves her brother, and as Blue Angel loved in the book, she loved the people that she didn't want to lose in her fantasy world, which I think that is Playmaker and Go. At least I think it's Playmaker. I mean, that's kind of the vibe that I got. Maybe not. Maybe that was just, there wasn't really a direct connection there. Maybe the only direct connection was how Blue Angel felt about her brother, and how, she knows that her brother loves her. And Specter, the way he was talking, it kind of made me think that if Specter loses this duel, he probably won't be turned into Data. I doubt Revolver would kill him. He'll probably just be unconscious as Blue Angel gets past him. And I wonder if Specter, to stop Blue Angel, would go after Akira, or in the future would go after Akira because he wants to take everything away from her. Blue Angel seems to be the only character, at least to what Specter is saying, that has been able to read Specter and has been able to tell that Specter is lonely, is depressed, and almost had the same past as she did. She even says the only reason you would read that book is because you felt very similarly to how I did in real life. We don't know anything about Specter in real life. We don't know who he is, but this makes me so excited to find out who he is and see the parallels between Specter and Blue Angel. And I want this rivalry to last another 30, 40 episodes, at least till the very end of the arc. I would hate if next episode Specter has this massive change of heart and all of a sudden, becomes a good guy, and he was only evil for 3 or 4 episodes. I really would not like that. I hope that isn't the case. I wouldn't mind if he shows signs. And this was the most interesting piece of dialogue to me in the entire episode, when Specter literally says, during one of his many monologues, he's like, it would be kind of cool if Blue Angel was able to accomplish her end goal. I would actually like to see that. And then Blue Angel, Aoi kind of goes, huh? And then Specter goes on with his turn, as if Specter is almost hinting that he kind of wants her to beat him because he wants to see how Aoi Zaizen and Blue Angel's story arc is going to end. As Specter is a weird character to read, because then there's other times where he's like, your dreams are going to end here because you're going to be turned into Data. He even said, based on Ghost Girl's name, that they would get along. I don't know what that was hinting at. Maybe that was hinting at that he's experienced a lot of death in real life, maybe a lot of family death, and he kind of, I don't want to say he sees ghosts, because that's that's weird, but maybe maybe everyone in his family is a ghost because they all died or something like that. Maybe he was hinting at something like that. That was another interesting line. He just had a lot of weird lines in this episode, and so he is probably, to me, the most intriguing character in the show right now, or at least one of the most, and this rivalry is definitely a rivalry that I want to see last for a while. All my eyes are on it, and I'm very excited for next episode. Based on what Kusanagi was saying, it seems like there could be a redemption chance for him. We know Akira is watching this duel, so what could happen, again, because if Blue Angel loses, she's turned to Data. If Specter loses, he's probably not turned to Data. He's probably still around. And maybe, as Blue Angel gets closer to this tower, Akira enters, and he duels Akira and broadcasts it to Akira, or broadcasts it to Aoi, and he defeats Akira, and then maybe he has a rematch with Aoi. It would probably be way too soon for him to duel Aoi again, and duel Blue Angel again. But I don't know. I don't know what route they're going to go. I really don't. I'm very excited to see this duel. I probably would have rather seen him duel Akira first, but based on what he was saying about how he wants to take everything away from her, and then, of course, there were other times where he said he wanted to see her kind of complete her mission because he thinks it would be cool to see her complete her mission, but you just don't know if he's being really sarcastic and really just playing with her and teasing with her emotions, which is what he kind of did this whole episode. But clearly, based on the preview, you think that maybe there is some good to him because it just, I don't know, it was just confusing the way they did it, and I don't know when the redemption's going to happen with him. Clearly, we are hopefully going to get some backstory with him. Blue Angel said that there's a path for victory at the very end of 33. So right before the ending 2 hit, Writing Life, Goodbye Holiday hit. So we'll see, guys. I'm very excited to see where this duel goes, but this was a very, very interesting and exciting episode. As for the dueling action, which I didn't really cover, I said Specter's character was going to be the main focus of this review. The dueling action was alright. It was Blue Angel trying to chip away at Specter, Specter then just regaining the damage, the life that she took away, and that was pretty much it. And his son Avalon, his tree, keeps kind of not regenerating, but regrowing, evolving, that's the word. He keeps evolving, so who knows what link it'll get to. I believe it's a link 2 right now. The Slasher monster was cool. The animation of Slasher and Holly Angel attacking each other and destroying each other was really cool. Specter also took over Blue Angel's ace monster and made a big deal out of it when he attacked her with Holly Angel. He was like, how does it feel to be attacked by your ace? He was just a very creepy dude in this episode, and I really did like it. So I enjoyed the episode. I'm excited to talk to you all about it down below. I do want to make another announcement. I know I was planning on putting out a lot of videos, but between now and New Year's Day, I probably will not be uploading any videos. I'll be working on some videos, but the day after New Year's, January 2nd, until probably January 10th when school resumes, expect a lot of videos. Expect best duels of 2017, best duels of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Both of those will be top 10s. I'm working on another theory, and it will be a very probably controversial theory, but again, as you guys know, I don't make theories too often, so hopefully that theory will be out soon. But this weekend and on New Year's Day, I will be away. I will not be making any videos, so just wanted to give you guys a heads up there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you down below, and I hope you have an amazing day.